Hi everyone, today is the Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK. I thought I'd do a reading. It's way too hot to go outside for me, so I'm staying in the cool today. I've had my fill of sunshine the last couple of days, and so I'm going to do a reading around, sorry, that was me, how to build a foundation um, for your twin flame union to come into being. Now, as you may or may not recently know, I have just been allocated an allotment, um, which is going to need a lot of work. So I'm going to use that allotment as a way to manifest my union in terms of the symbolic action that I use and the wishes and the intentions and the affirmations. And I'm looking forward to doing some readings from the allotment as well. So with my new allotment space, I'm going to be growing lots of intentions through the flowers, through structures that I'm going to be putting in. I'm going to be growing vegetables, and I'm going to use it as a symbolic way to bring in the union. So today the cards, I'm going to do a little bit differently. This card here is the Secret Language of Birds deck. I'm going to use this deck as a symbolic gesture for the underlying message from the birds, because I'm hoping to attract a lot of birds to the allotment somehow. I have a lot to learn. As I say, my twin was brought up on a farm and he knows how to cultivate vegetables, and I'm hoping to manifest him with me in the allotment so that we can grow the vegetables together. But yesterday a robin came and sat in front of me and looked at me, and I looked up the meaning of the robin, and they are very mystical birds. They bring lots of joy, abundance. I mean, they're a very, very auspicious bird to have come and sit and stare you, literally look at you and say, hey, twin flame, you're all right, things are going to be good. So building on the allotment, we're going to be building up a foundation for the union to come into being. So let's get the overall message for the reading from the birds, from the secret language of birds. What messages do the birds want us to know? And then from that message we will draw from this range of cards here. But I want to ask the birds, what is it you want us to know for the Twin Flame Collective? Whether you be building a foundation with a project online or whatever, mine just happens to be an allotment. But what is it we need to build? A solid foundation, you know, that Four of Wands now that we can start to build. I mean, I could actually build that pergola on the card, you know, the Four of Wands card. I may just do that. We'll see. Any ideas would be great. So, birds, what do you want us to know? So this is going to be the overall message, so that we can focus on building that foundation. Spirit of birds, the secret language of birds, you divine creatures, you little winged, feathered, free creatures, please give us the message that you would love us to have, that we may take on your message and become unified through the foundation of building a solid, ground up, earth-based existence. Okay. Okay. Il Mato. I don't know what that means because I'm not French. I don't speak French, but I think it's quite good, this one. I will look it up and I will read it. I have to put it up there because it's Il Matto. So I am going to read the book because I was going to do that. Anyway, I'm hoping it's quite good. Il Matto. If any of you French-speaking people know what that means, then I think she's one of the first ones in the book. Yes. Sorry, motorbikes are in their droves today. This is the Fool. This is the Fool card in the deck. So it's 0, it's new beginnings, it's taking a leap of faith. So building that foundation on the leap of faith. Yeah, so let's read it. He who has fixed goal can never lose his way. Sorry, he who has no fixed goal can never lose his way. So this is really about, you know, taking the leap of faith. The key words are innocence, free, spontaneous, careless, playful, optimistic and trusting. And you have to do that when you build a foundation. You have to see what works because you can't be too rigid. So I won't read the description. I'm going to read the Fool and the Cuckoo. Like the Fool, the Cuckoo seems to be able to break all the rules, and these are the rules that apply not only to the avian world but to our world too. The mother cuckoo behaves outrageously, laying her a single egg in the nest of another bird, effectively leaving a total stranger to nurture her child. The newly hatched baby cuckoo is generally a monstrous in size in comparison to its adopted siblings, eats ravenously, and even ejects the other birds from their own nest. What kind of stress must this cause for the surrogate mother, and would she ever suspect that she's been the subject of such a brazen hoodwink? And why did the cuckoo itself adopt such radical behaviour? Is she simply smarter than the average bird in ensuring decent hassle-free childcare? Or is there a deep sadness that no cuckoo mother will ever enjoy seeing her child grow up? Is there something quite amoral in the way the cuckoo mother relies on the goodwill and responsibility? Or perhaps sheer ignorance of the selected surrogate mother? Right. Okay, so in the context of a cuckoo mother that does not bring up her child, leaves the responsibility to the divine, because the mother doesn't know any better. She's wired that way. So if, like me, you suspect you have been brought up in a family that's not really your family because you felt different, you felt not understood, then perhaps you represent the cuckoo child, this sort of one that everyone sees as weird, monster, different, and so you find that you are having to rely on a surrogate family, a spiritual family, a family that understands you, but also a family that doesn't tolerate the ego. So perhaps it's the ego is the fledglings, and this sort of this other cuckoo is building a nest inside of a strange world, a world where he doesn't really belong or feel where he really belongs. So in being different, in being the outcast, is the natural order, it's the contract for that cuckoo mother, and it's what she agreed to do as she came down to this earth to give birth to an offspring, but she contracted not to be the one to look after it. And I don't think she feels sadness because it wasn't her contract anyway, so she probably is feeling that. It could be that you feel like you're the orphan. So building our foundation to come back home to where you belong is kind of what this card is saying. Significance of the Fool and the Cuckoo. No real number. 0 is very important. It can bring everything into being. I'm only paraphrasing here because I don't want to read the whole thing. So 0, okay? 0 is the real magic. It's where nothingness is in the Osher Zen deck. Nothingness. The Fool has morphed itself into the Joker in the playing cards deck, and this is where, you know, you're carefree, taking risks. The Fool archetype is personified by the young girl who's staring provocatively over her shoulder, seemingly oblivious to her surroundings. She's dangerously close to both the ocean waves and the gaping jaw of the crocodile. But she's on top of the crocodile. The crocodile cannot reach her, and so she's taking a risk. So, seeming foolhardy, this girl is looking life provocatively in the eye and saying, "Just watch me achieve my dreams." And the crocodile, well, why is he there? The Fool may weep tears, but not for long. So crocodile tears, the metaphor of crocodile tears. So we will not hang on to our mistakes for long, and certainly not with any remorse, because they are false tears of the crocodile. So crocodile tears. And who hasn't done crocodile tears before? We all know what that's like. When we was a child, we were told we were only crying crocodile tears. And this lady is content to soak up the sun whenever she is, trusting in the universe will provide whatever she needs. So there you go, trusting in the universe, knowing that it's our divine destiny to be taken care of by the Divine Mother and not our physical blood mothers. An interesting aspect of this card is dichotomy between destiny and free will. We might well take the view that every single thing we encounter could be well down to either of the concepts. These concepts, and that in reality it doesn't matter. What's important is how we choose to calibrate our thoughts. There is a saying that we can't change the world, but we can change our minds. And the Fool is the opposite reminder of this. This card is about living in the moment and trusting to fate. The Fool can be infuriating to others, especially those who prefer their lives to have a plan, every moment accounted for. If you're such a person and have drawn this card, then it might be time to relax the rules a little, let your hair down. Psychologists sometimes refer to the inner child, the part of everyone that is able to take delight in small things and not to worry about whatever tomorrow might bring. Whilst the concerns of everyday life do provide a necessary framework for many of us, sometimes a little spontaneity, doing something just for the hell of it and with no thought of financial remuneration, can be a very good thing once in a while. None of us really knows if there's an afterlife, and it's best to live your life on the premises that we're a long time dead, because there's no get-out clause. Fool making an appearance here is all about wisdom and beauty of living in the moment. Okay, so we're going to be, this is the foundation for this reading, the Fool card, New Beginnings. So that's great, because now we can look at the meanings of the cards based on the foundational. And here's my little robin that came to see me. Okay, so we have the foundation of the Fool, building from nothing, taking a risk and having fun. So now, building a foundation for the union obviously is built on love, so I'm going to use the Romance Angels first of all to get the message from Spirit. We've got the messages from the birds, the secret language of the birds. giving us the foundation for this reading, which is the Fool card. This is the Fool card. New beginnings, taking a leap of faith, not really knowing where it's going to go. I just want to reiterate that I have been given an allotment where I'm going to be using that as a metaphor to build and grow the foundation of my twin flame union. So whatever it is for you, if you're building something, then it's a foundation for the union. What are you building? What are you... So if we look at the allotment adventure as a foundation for the body and the light, where are you building the foundation? Where are you growing success? I will be doing readings from the allotment once I'm in. So the first message we have is new love, and this card keeps coming up recently. So this is new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Now, there is a sense of new love. It's spring, new growth. I'm going to use the metaphor for the allotment because it's kind of a nice earth thing. New love, new growth, new seeds of love, new awareness, seeds being grown that are about to come into bloom. So they're all the metaphors. Now, I'll just say personally, recently there's someone who's just come back into the area who is quite cute, you know, and there's a potential for us to be complementary. But I'm keeping an open mind on anything, whether it be, you know, that I just support them in a non sort of relationship way, just have some fun and be creative with them, or what, I don't know. But anyway, twin flame unions are coming in no matter what. But the thing is, you have to focus on your own stuff. So focusing on your allotment, your foundation. If your body was your allotment, what seeds would you plant? What weeds would you take out? What would the first jobs you would have done, right? So my first job in this new allotment is I'm going to be overturning all the grass to earth and making a compost heap. So I'm going to be reusing materials to provide nutrients and growth foundation for the future. So compost. So how would you do that in your own body? How would you overturn things and reuse things that seemingly seem in the way but could be useful if you was to turn them over? Create that new body of light. So the new love coming in from the foundation. So we're looking at how to build the foundation. Is see everything as new. See everything as a way to regenerate and regrow elements of yourself. Everything is energy. So you've got seeds in there that have potential. An allotment, I see it, is actually potential. The next card is release your ex. Yes, again, it's about releasing all those old weeds, creating space for new things to grow, new relationships. Time has come to clear your energy, clear your space, clear your body. Take out all the old weeds and rubbish from your house. Clear everything that reminds you of any past relationships that are going to trigger you back into those old states of low vibration. So, new love and release your ex. Let's have another card. I think this is just going to be a rolling message, so I'm not going to do any specific positions. I'm just going to talk about shuffle, pick a deck, shuffle and talk. This one. So the person you're thinking about, is this could be the one? Well, in terms of a foundation, whatever that foundation attracts, and the reason you're doing it is to become one with yourself. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So this person you already know, you've met them, you know them from the past. It could be the very distant past, or it could be the recent past. But you won't know until you go with the flow. I think, you know, the whole thing about forcing twin flame and knowing who it is, that sort of thing. Obviously it's somebody you know, but I sort of know two people and maybe possibly a third now, so I'm getting even more confused. But the signs of twin flame and how you know it's a twin flame is, you know, the fact that you've followed each other around the planet and you've bumped into each other and you had karma to deal with. And when you're with them, you feel like you're home. So all those signs are good. All those signs are good. And I did dream of my twin flame the other night, actually, and it was his energy. So recognizing their energy in the 5D when it's around you and knowing that they're coming is probably where you have to just keep the faith. So this could be the one. Is a little bit confusing because it's got the word could in there, especially if you're flitting from one to the other like a little bird, you know, flit, 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 and not really knowing for sure, because the universe is giving you all these tests. It's helping you really refine. Yeah, it's helping you refine. When you put seeds in the ground, you have to dig a very sure turret. You have to dig a groove where you know those seeds are going to go. So you have to be quite sure. Right, so this can be the one. A little bit confusing. So all of those cards, new love, this could be the one. It's leaving things open for cultivation. I'm using allotment speak here. It's using cultivation for love to grow. Yeah, that's a nice one, isn't it? It's using cultivation for love to grow. So any more cards from the Romance Angels? Spirit of the Birds. Spirit of the Birds. Give us those messages from the Romance Angels. What is it we need to know next? This one is dancing around. Yes, this is a past life relationship. So, you have known each other before. So there's two cards here confirming that the person you are twinned with in terms of union, you already know them, whether it be in this life or past life, and you know them both simultaneously now. You've got to release your ex and this new love. It's a new love because it's being seen anew, but it is a past love because you've already met this person. This could be the one. Well, you wouldn't say that if you hadn't met them. You know, this is a past life relationship and it is the one. Could be the one. This could be the new love. But also the new love is coming in for yourself as well. But you've got to release the old. So time for weeding and planting new seeds. On the bottom of the deck we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So you have these romantic feelings. You want the passion, you want the love, you want the flowers, the roses, and you want to be adored. You've got these cherubs here looking down on the masculine and up to the feminine, and they're being adored. This love is being, you know, It's being blessed by the cherubs. Being blessed by the cherubs. And it's lovely. So that's the romance angels there. What's the next part? So the next part of the story, we're going to use the psychic tarot for the heart. So, spirit of love and light with the birds, let us know what we can build on this foundation. We're going to build a foundation. Solid as a rock, that's what this love is. Feels too much. Solid as a rock, building a foundation. What is it that needs to be solid as a rock? I should really rephrase that. Romantic feelings, you see, makes you think of all these things on the bottom of the deck. Solid as a rock. Okay, spirit of love and light. Give us the secret language of the bird's message in terms of the foundational Fool card we have drawn. Okay, so the first card we have is Dreams Coming True. Dreams Coming True is a completion of all the wishes that we've wanted. So here you have the 9, and these things are being achieved. So your dreams are coming true. This dream of the new love and the passion for this past life is coming true. So if we go back to the foundation of the Fool, dreams come true when you take the leap of faith to see it come into fruition. If you walk over the mountain, you'll see what's over the other side. You can sit here on the sand and wish, but unless you go to the other side, which means getting out of the 3D mindset and living in the 5D and trusting in what is being given in terms of signs. So dreams coming true. And by cultivating the earth and the allotment, I will be changing the rhythm of the earth in terms of my energy that will go into it, and bring the dream of, let's say, a rose garden or a vegetable garden coming into reality. So feeling alone as well. Yes, it's necessary to feel like you're the only one that understands this journey. There is a journey, and there is the little dream house, cottage there. And again, there's a bit of a river to cross, but not much of a river. She could swim that river if she tried. But there's no guarantee that there's going to be anybody home. So it could be that you're feeling alone without any guarantee of coming into union. But, you know, the promise is there and the belief is there and the light is shining to show that there is hope. It's like that little star. Plus it's also with the dreams coming true. You know, that having that faith, that leap of faith. Fool card is you have to have that leap of faith, and that's what brings things into being. Many more messages from the secret language of the birds through the tarot heart deck, John Holland. birds want us to know in building this foundation. So birds are very good at building nests. So again, win or lose, depending on the effort you put in to building that foundation, you will win. If you don't put any effort in, you won't win. So here you can see that there's some grass growing, and that there's a heart in there with two hands. It looks like two hands actually, making the cross. And they're holding the heart in their hand. So, you know, I will be using tools in the allotment to dig and to till the earth. And I'll be putting things in for things to grow up through them and round them. And this will reflect the effort and the work. And this is Excalibur, you know, so the person that is able to withdraw the sword from the rock is the true owner of it. And that is your heart, the true owner of the heart energy that you put into believing and having faith in this journey by putting in the work. If you plant seeds, you can have faith that they will grow if the right conditions are given. So you want water and sunshine and air, and those things are generally available. So they generally will actually produce germinating seeds. And it's the same with beliefs and the law of attraction. If you have a vision, if you have high vibrational emotions that attach to that vision, and you have belief and faith, this leap of faith Fool card, generally it will produce growth of those ideas. The ideas are the metaphor for the seeds, okay? So we're going again. Let's get another message from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. It's one of the hottest days so far in the UK, so I'm taking it easy. But I'm going to make a lovely chicken dinner. So blessings and love with this card next, bringing us the message of the language of the birds through the foundation of the Fool. What are we building? How are we building it? What do we need to do? So I'm feeling this reading is about building a foundation of new love. It's releasing the old, taking out the new, making the effort to re-till the earth, re-vibrate your body in terms of getting out the weeds vibrations and putting in the growth vibrations. And only you know what those are for you, because everybody's different. Everybody has feelings and emotions that are special for them. So you will grow your own type of emotional garden according to your own preferences. So here we have two cards that are really stuck to my fingers. So we have listening and choose your battles. Yeah, so choose your battles within you. Don't allow the ego to overtake. Just listen to the ones that are going to help support the growth of this new love. Listen to the ones that are going to help you release the X energy, release the old karmic energy, so that you can grow this new love into being. Focus on your dreams coming true. Have faith, and feeling alone is actually a strength, because you can do more focused thought things when you're on your own. If you get too many people involved in your dreams, they're going to try and put you off. So you need to, this is your dream, just as my allotment is my allotment. I will grow it in my own way. And when my twin comes to join me in that allotment, I will respect his knowledge, because he, you know, that's what he does as a hobby, actually. So I'm growing this foundation for him so that he's got a ready-made place to come and do what he loves. He hasn't got to buy a big house for both of us. He can just come and be with me here and do what he likes to do. So that's, and here we have 19. The plot number of my allotment is number 19, which is the Sun card, which I wrongly called the Death card 19 the other day. So yes, the Sun card, my allotment is the number of the Sun card. So my allotment is a twin flame number, which I was really, really pleased about when I realised that I'd made a mistake. So now then, what else do we want? So we've got 2 cards turned up here. Let's look at the energy within the twin flame foundation. When building this foundation, what energy do we need to cultivate? Again, I'm using allotment gardening. It's a wonderful metaphor. It's a rich metaphorical visual, the garden, for all sorts of things, for healing and twin flames. So what energy do we want to cultivate within this twin flame union as we're building the foundation? What energy is going to support the building of this foundation? There, that's a better question. What energy is going to support the building of this foundation? And that is from the secret language of the birds. What are the birds going to tell us? Okay, so the first one is the temple path. The energy is the temple path. So it's about building a temple to your love. The garden will be like a temple to your love. And here is a nice, there's a yin-yang grass shape. So I could make a yin-yang herb garden or something like that. That would be good. And here's a golden temple. But I have a shed, but it's going to be kind of green. But I can have lights, and I could put little steps in, because if I go up a bit higher, I'll be able to see the sea. There's sea views, but I'm surrounded by bushes. So there's the potential that I could perhaps build kind of a stairway up to something. But yes, the temple path. So you're building a temple. See it as a temple that you're building. Your body is a temple. So build it with love and light. Rid it of all weeds and darkness. And appreciate the beauty of your body. You know, how it supports you and how it helps you communicate and move through the world. And yeah, so the energy is approach this foundation building as if, you know, you're building this beautiful temple. This, you see your body and your life as a temple. Whatever you're building, it's going to be a temple to love. The Taj Mahal is the ultimate temple of love, built on with love in mind. So the energy is temple-ish. Okay, any other cards from the energy deck? What other energies are going to build this? You're building a temple to love. This foundation is going to be a temple to love. That's a nice metaphor. I love that. The contract has to be signed. Yes, I will have to sign the contract. for my allotment, and the same with you, with your twin flame allotment body temple. You have signed the contract with Spirit to have this journey. So the contract is sealed, and no work can begin until the contract has been signed, which is what they told me at the allotment. They've got a week to get out their previous owners and previous tenants, but then I'll get the signed contract and then I can start work. So again, it's a very symbolic metaphor for building a foundation, using the allotment as an analogy now because it's a new adventure, and seeing it as a metaphor for a contract. Like when you get an allotment, you sign the contract and you are agreeing to do some work. You're agreeing to grow vegetables, to keep the lawn nice, you know. And it's the same with the twin flame journey. You agree to this contract, so you're going to be keeping your vibration high. You're going to be working on unconditional love. You're going to be working on loving yourself. And these are all the rules. And here's the book. You see all the books there. These are all the ground rules for building that foundation. And a lot of us and a lot of people out there who claim to be twin flames are not really working towards keeping the contract. It's quite a big contract, you know. So whatever that contract is for you, but the energy is we're building a temple to love. Building a temple to love. It's the contract we've signed so that we stick to the guidelines of the contract. We've agreed to grow the love in our garden. I'm using gardening metaphors because I have an allotment now, and I'm going to be using that as a way to build the foundation for my union to come into physical reality. My twin worked in a farm when he was younger, and he was brought up by his grandma, who taught him everything, which I found out the last time I saw him. She sounds like a lovely, lovely, lovely old lady. I think that's why he's so kind. So, any more messages on the energy oracle? What other energy is going to help us to build this foundation based on the Fool card and the message from the birds? So, we have the 7th chakra, which is the Archangel Uriel. The energy is spiritual endeavor. So this is seeing things again from the 5D, getting your cues from the universe, from God, from the light, from the source, and going with the flow. Excuse me. 7th chakra is the one just above the crown, and it is the it's where the messages come in and hit the 6th chakra. You know, the insights come, but the chakra above that is 8, and that's the motivation one. So the motivation above 7, which is the 8th chakra, has already been, you know, that's part of that contract actually, is the 7th chakra is the spiritual contract being shown to you. It's formed already, and this is what it looks like in the 7th realm before it hits your intuition. Okay, so it's coming down, it's forming this sort of lotus shape or flower of life shape, and it hits your it hits your 6th chakra as intuition. But the motivation is, obviously, it's all around you. The 8th chakra embodies all of you, and so it hits your heart as well, obviously. But the 7th chakra is the one where everything, the actual form of the contract, i.e. go and do this behaviour, follow that thing, go and do that. This is what people say when they're being guided. A lot of twin flame people or spiritual people say, I was guided to. This is the manifestation of that term, I was guided to. That 7th chakra is the I was guided. And when people listen to it, once they're aware of their 6th chakra, then they go, oh yes, that's what I need to do. So being guided to building the temple of love for the foundation through the contractual clauses within your own twin flame contract. So you're building a temple of love here, twin flame people. You're building a temple of love, which is you and your twin flame journey, is the temple of love. So we have another message here, which is the door to value. Door to value. Now there's 2 ways to say this. There's the door to value, which means if you open that door, that's, you know, the door to value is the one you enter when you open it. But there's also another way to emphasize is the door to value. There's the door to value where you open it and walk through, but then there is the actual door to value. Can you see the difference there? So there's the door in terms of it's moving through to the value, but then, all right, so basically you've got money here and flowing around, and a lot of people think that that's the value, but the actual door to value is the garden beyond it, where the seeds have been grown. I think there's a temple in the background, and the temple is in there. So the money side is not the real value, it's the energy of valuing the growth of the spirit that goes into building the temple of love. That's what you need to value. And then by law of attraction, any you know, material abundance will come upon you, sort of thing. So the door to value is the one that's filled with love. And I think there's lots of gold. Yeah, there's lots of golden coins on this side here. But the other side is where the real value lies. And it's kind of just beyond your reach. You've got these big red physical earthly doors. But beyond that is this garden, again, which has been cultivated. And I'm sure it's very beautiful once you open the door. But you've got to take the door to value. But it's a choice. And the choice you make is guided by the contractual elements, and it's through you recognizing choosing your battles and listening, choosing your battles and listening to the right messages so that you choose the door to value. Which door are you going to value? Are you going to value the ego over unconditional love, or your spirit body? You know, looking at your values in terms of what are you chasing? What is the motivation that's driving you to make these decisions? What is it you value most? So in building this foundation, it's getting your values set up in a way that helps you align with the contract of the spirit, and being guided by that to go through the right door, the door of value. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Yes, building the temple of love requires a following of the contract, just like building an allotment. Sign the contract, you have to go in and do the work, so be guided to do the work and generate the value from that. So generating value from actually doing symbolic things. I remember Caroline Mace once saying, you know, do something every day to change your physical environment. She said even if it's exercise 15 minutes a day, she said it's not the mile that you're worried about, it's the self-esteem that you can squeeze out of the mile. And I thought that was amazing, because that self-esteem is the true value. It's not the physical running, it's the self-esteem that goes with being able to see that through. And that's what she was saying, basically. And I thought that was wonderful. Always remember that. But I have studied with her, so she is quite embedded in my psyche. So any more energy for the foundational energy points? Man holding a heart. Well, that's nice, because that's what we want to see. We're building this temple of love so that we can attract our counterpart, so he can, you know, obviously join us in this upgraded self and complement us, complement our journey, so that we can both stand in. We're building this temple of love for both of us to stand within it. You see, we want to be standing in that temple with our divine masculine, but in a way that is golden for us. We are the golden one, and he will be led up that path, not led up the garden path, but led to the temple of love that the goddess is now creating within her own body, within her own life, within her own joy and happiness. And, you know, there's nothing more joyful than working with the earth and gardening and growing things. And it's a place where I can make it my own and express my true self. So the bottom of the deck, we have adjacent possibilities. So yeah, again, this could be the one. Again, there's another confusing thing. So it's being very sure about listening to the battles within your head. There's going to be lots of possibilities, but if you remember that you're building a temple to love, knowing that it's a contract is deciding the possibilities. Which ones are you being guided to choose? Which doors are going to be the ones that are going to bring you the most value in terms of building a temple of love? So you can always say, if an opportunity comes, is this going to help me build my temple to love or not? Yes or no. If it's a no, then obviously it's a no. Simple. Right, so the next one we're going to do is the enchanted map, which is the direction of the energy. So we've had the romance angels. This is a new love. It's a past relationship. Release your ex. We've had the psychic tarot of the heart. This is about dreams coming true. A temple to love. Contract. By being guided to choose the door to value, so that our divine masculine can come into our life. You can just walk up to that temple and say, hello, my dear. Those are beautiful roses that you grew. See, he doesn't have to bring the roses. We can grow our own roses. So now we have the direction of, what is the direction? This is the enchanted map by Colette Baron Reed. What is the direction we need to take? So we're being assured that this new love is a past life love. We've already met this partner. We've already met the one. And we're working towards this temple of love to build the foundation for this love to come in. And we've got to do the work in terms of putting in the seeds, growing the flowers and the vegetables, and then we can enjoy the fruits together. Okay, so Spirit of Love and Light and Birds of the Secret Language of the Birds deck for the foundation of the Fool card, which is here, which is the foundation of the whole reading, is the Fool card, New Beginnings, Having Faith, taking that faith, the leap of faith. What is the direction that we need to do to bring this foundation of the union? What direction? Give us the direction. What is the direction? Direction. Let's have some direction. What do the birds want us to know? Okay, I'll let those two fall. Okay, so we have Into the Unknown and the Moonlight. Yeah, so again, this is the leap of faith into the unknown. Just go with that faith and build your temple of love based on the insights that you get, following spiritual guidance, knowing that that's where the true value lies. And the moon here is all those aspects that need to be revealed and brought to the light, so they can either be weeded out or recultivated and grown in a new space. And there's a timer here, a little timer here, so it's all in divine timing. Again, things grow with the right conditions and the right time. So building a temple of love, the direction is, yes, faith is needed, and when things come up that need to be dealt with, you deal with them and you plant something, or you decide what it's going to look like. But until it comes up, so for example, with my allotment now, I don't know what's in there. Basically, I've got some fruit trees. I have no idea what they are. I think there's an apple tree. There's things in the ground. There's grass growing and there's holes and things. And I don't know what's under there. So I'm going to have to do a moon thing. I'm going to have to turn the soil to see what's underneath. And I'm going to have to regenerate some of it and replant in some of it. But it's discovering what's in the dark parts that need to be assessed. And you don't know what's in there. It's the unknown. It's an adventure. So that's the direction. I see it as an adventure, a fun thing, because this is kind of a game she's playing there. And she's got love hearts hanging from her arm. And they almost look like butterflies, actually. So any more directional messages for this foundation? I mean, basically, when you look at the messages over and over again, it is clear out the weeds and plant new seeds. Oh, gosh, I love that. Clear out the weeds and plant new seeds. Wow. Poetry. Twin flame journey summed up in a sentence. Clear out the weeds and sow the seeds. Sowing the seeds of love. Seeds of love. So we have another message here. It's wide open. Yeah, so be wide open to all the opportunities that are going to be presented, because you're taking this leap of faith. And the message in this deck was the person that has no fixed goal cannot lose. Because if you think about it, if you set up to achieve it and it's not if you don't achieve it, you can be very disappointed. So you need to be very wide open to all the opportunities that are being presented in divine timing. Just stay very vigilant about your body and signs. It's a balancing act, really, staying in this wide open spiritual alchemic state. This is how you really get to know yourself. You get to know immediately what you want in your life and what you don't. You get to recognize what's a weed and what's a seed. You get to recognize a fruit tree, what it's called, once you know it. Yes, well, I have somebody coming over who will be telling me what I've got in there. But even so, I accept any help. I'm not proud. Stickings in my hands. These two want to come out. 3 actually. So we've got spirit of place. Again, it's the spirit of the place, where you want to be in terms of internally, in your mind, in your heart, in your body. Creating that spirit of place, visualizing it, imagining it happen, knowing you have everything you need to create the situation and the circumstances that you desire, because this card represents being self-sufficient. Steps slowly towards it, taking one step at a time, knowing that everything happens as it should be, because you've divinely ordered it through being in the creational space of, you know, the thought vibes that are going to be bringing those waves into particles and creating physical manifestations. So again, the direction is having faith, being wide open to the possibilities and dealing with any darkness that comes, regenerating it into new seeds, new love, letting go of your ex, here, releasing your ex, release your seeds, release your weeds to grow, make space for new seeds, seeds of new love in the allotment. So each day I go to the allotment, I will be using these metaphors and I will be thinking of building this temple of love. I won't see it as a chore, which is very easy for me to do because there's a lot of digging to do. And again, with us twin flames, we've been doing a lot of digging. Okay, so there, spirit of place is means getting to the state that you want to see happening. Be in that state, be the change you wish to see, knowing that that's all you need to do to thrive. That's the energy that's going to go into it, but it will happen in its own time. There's no rushing it, and it's just being very graceful within that. This is the Nautilus that can survive, has survived millions and millions of years. It's called one of the oldest fossils, and it can survive because it can come up very, very quickly by shifting around its little chambers and coming up to the sea to get away from low-level predators. It's got chambers in it, and then it can go back down very quickly to get the food. So it's very good at living at high levels and low levels. So it can It can evade low-level ego thoughts very quickly. If you're going to use a metaphor for the Nautilus, it can very quickly rise up and free itself, go to a higher perspective, you know, if any thoughts. So in that spirit of place, you're in that space of the four, the foundation, what you want to see happening. Any thoughts that are going to take you down, you rise up very quickly with a Nautilus mindset. You know, shut down the chambers that are going to help you to rise, which means shut down any thoughts of lack, abandonment, and then you will rise very quickly and evade those thoughts, and then you will survive. You'll be the survivor and the thriver, and because you know that that's where you're going. But this Nautilus is going to be key for you to be able to rise very quickly, shutting down those chambers so you come up. If you do research on the Nautilus, you'll see why it has survived amongst all the other fossils on the planet, and therefore you won't get stuck in the mud. Okay, so I'm going to do a little tarot card reading here. So this is the Totem Tarot, I think. No, Familiar. The Familiar. Okay, so we've got the Queen of Wands. So this is the Queen of Wands. She's very clear what she wants, and she's going to create what she wants. And she's got the spirit. She's got that female birthing spirit. She knows that these ideas are going to be cultivated and nurtured with love. Queen of Wands. Next one is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords, again, it's the you know, the divine masculine thought, the masculine energy. So we've got the feminine and the masculine here. Foundation energies. Queen of Wands with the ideas, and the King of Swords is able to put the structures in place and do the linear thinking. You know, it's a bit like an architect. He can do the engineering and all the work to be able to bring the Queen of Wands vision into fruition. And so the divine masculine and feminine will be working together in this temple of love, on this temple of love. They're working together on this temple of love with their own projects, on their own foundations. And together they will work their magic, you see. So that's really nice. That is the foundation. And then we have the Eight of Swords. Now I'm going to do a light worker, because I want the angels and the light workers to be present over this allotment. I want it protected. This is my own personal foundation that I'm building to bring my union in to fruition, is working on the allotment that I've just been given. So I want the angels and the light workers and the spirit of fairies and all beautiful things to be surrounding me in this allotment. And I'm going to build it as a temple to twin flame union, to twin flame journey into twin flame union. Yes. So, light worker oracle, please give us the energy messages that will be surrounding the foundation of whatever it is you're building for this twin flame, whether it be a new business, a new allotment, a new child, a new family, or whatever. You're building this temple of love through the contract. There's too many there. Please help us build the contract. This one wants to come out. So, dark night of the soul. You can heal anything that is going to bring you down by allowing the light workers to show you that through some suffering there is light, because this lady's holding the light. So it's kind of, there's one cowering down there, and then there's the bigger one seeing it from a higher perspective and holding the light at the heart chakra level, knowing that you can step back and see it from the higher perspective. So dark nights of the souls are growth, you know, they are the energy of transformation, transition into a new, stronger being. So with each weed I pull, I'm going to pull out any thoughts of disbelief, and that's going to help me rise up into the light of hope. Because as you're building a temple, there's a lot of work to be done, and that work is dealing with those scary thoughts, listening to the naysayers. You can listen to the naysayers if you're strong enough, but if you're not strong enough to hold this belief, you could end up in this cowering position, which is what you don't want. What you want is to be able to stand in your faith, in your truth, no matter what's happening, no matter what people are saying. In fact, don't tell too many people. I'm terrible like that. I tell everyone stuff, and I've always sort of done that, and then people get jealous and then end up getting, you know, revengeful or whatever it is sick people do. So try to stay strong no matter what's being said as you build your temple to love, as you build your new foundation. This is a very important message. So with every weed in the allotment is a metaphor for every thought you have. Pull it out right from the root. Go back as far as you need to if possible. Pull it out from the root so it never grows again. And that way your garden will begin to look stronger. It will grow better quality seeds, because the earth will be better condition. Your body will be a better condition. So what other messages do we have from the Lightworkers Oracle? It will be ever present over the foundational building of this new love. Hold your center. So yes, hold your center, whether stuff's happening or not. Good stuff, bad stuff. Hold your center, says the crow. And just look at that beautiful garden. You know, inspiration for the sort of flowers I may grow. Some design ideas even there. I'd love to have an arbor there. I may even see messages from the birds today. That's beautiful, to create that garden. And there's the stairs, and there you have the temple, which we have the temple in the other deck. So yeah, this is going to be the presence over the allotment, over the foundation of what I'm going to be building. I'm going to have this image there. Beautiful. Right. On the bottom of the deck we have the spiritual protection, which is Merkaba. So you can surround yourself with your Merkaba and just have this beautiful energy looking down at you. Just have that image around you all the time, knowing that the temple of love is being built. Under contract, the contract cannot be broken, but the only way it can be, the contract cannot be broken, but the way you approach it is going to be, oh, where's that sword card? Here it is. It's going to be whether you see it as a win or lose. So how you view it is going to create your experience around building that. So if you do have this beautiful protection, knowing that the contract is being fulfilled, then you can be very protected and stay in line with the contractual elements of the foundation, because here we have the man holding a heart. Okay, so they're there. That's the direction. These, the male and female working together. Let's put those two there. Seeing as there's a cat and a crow. Cat's white and the crow is black. And then we have the energy in which the direction in which it's going is, you set the direction with your thoughts. And then what comes up as a result of that just gets aligned with it. So that's why you need to stay wide open to the messages. Great, so that's that. Now, I want an Archangel Michael, because I want him to be there to protect the allotment at all times. I want him to be there to protect the allotment at all times, and to shield and cut away anything that doesn't need to be there. And I'm talking in reality, because I have an allotment, but also metaphorically your own allotment, which is what could be your body, it could be your career, it could be whatever you're building. You could be writing a book, you could be creating a new channel, whatever it is, let it be protected. And honor and trust your feelings. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for supporting, guiding, protecting me as I listen and act upon my feelings. Help me understand and express my emotions with love. So again, that's about the foundation of the building through the contract, is honouring and trusting your feelings as part of the contract, to be able to discern which battles to choose and which battles to let go, the ones that can take you higher, and the ones that will ultimately help you be the winner. Even if you have to lose the battle, you'll win the war. That's the saying, isn't it? So help Archangel Michael to trust where you're going to plant certain things and take certain things out. Sometimes having a very well coiffed, landscaped garden is not, it's not filled with spirit, is it? Whereas when you walk into a magical garden, it's like you can tell there's been, there's some sort of feeling that people love. And I had a space where people would come, this is in a virtual environment. I would have a place where people would come and say, it feels so lovely here. And that's because I imbued it with love and things like that. And so I plan to do this in the real world. I'm creating a healing space, actually. That's what I'm creating with the allotment. It's going to be a healing space as well as a temple to the twin flame journey, which actually is a twin flame journey, is a healing journey. Wouldn't you agree? I hope you would. I don't think we can stay the same and expect to have a twin flame journey. I think you have to go through a lot of trials and tribulations to be able to ascend to that level. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So this one wants to come out. The situation is already resolved. I give any worries, cares and concern to you in exchange for true peace in all ways. Thank you for resolving this situation in a divinely perfect way. So again, that's this trust card of the Fool, knowing that the foundation is being worked on through divine guidance. So it's already resolved. There's no need to worry. It's just, we're just following. We're being a channel for spiritual guidance. The contract has already been signed, remember. It's already been signed. So there's no need to worry and get into the state of fear. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. It's the Temple of Love, new love, is what you're keeping your eyes on. Keep your eyes focused on your targeted attention. That's what's going to increase the power. That's what's going to get you over the humps. That's going to get you over the hard work. As you build this temple to new love. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me to focus on my inner vision and intention. I ask for your guidance in releasing any fears or doubts, granting me the confidence and courage to take action towards realizing my dreams. So we've had the dreams coming true, but we also have the foundational spirit of place. This is what's going to create the foundation, is your ability to stay aligned with your eyes on the target. You see her eyes here, they're very, very focused on growing that, that little branch there, growing that leaf. She's looking towards it. And these look quite autumnal, actually, autumnal. But she's got wings here on her eyes, looking at it with the higher perspective from the 5D, perhaps maybe even the 7D or 8D or whatever, however high people go in these places. But she's keeping targeted on that so that it becomes a physical thing. That's Archangel Michael. Prayer will help. So I'm going to do an earth magic because it's to do with planting seeds and earth allotments. Using this allotment for me personally as a way to grow the union and the faith and the belief. And also it's symbolic. So a tsunami is a wake-up call. So there's going to be a wave of energy, insights, that's going to create miracles, that's going to bring this sun, you know, bring this sunshine energy and bring the results that you've been waiting for. So don't worry too much about that wake-up call. It's the same as the Dark Night of the Soul card here. Knowing that you can survive anything, you know, because we're strong enough. We were given the contract to deal with this. And it's great because you train your muscles. So can we have another card from the Earth Magic? Stillness. So be stillness in the storm. That's where you develop your strength. So when you're having a dark night of the soul, or anything that's, you know, troubling you with your ego, doesn't have to be major, huge thing, you can know that you have this stillness within you that you can return to time and time again. And that's what's going to build up your strength. Go to your still place. Hear the water. And calm these waters down. These are the, you know, this is like waves of thoughts. Oh my God, oh my God. And that's the dark night of the soul, this cowering position. But when you go into the stillness, there's a beautiful little boat, you come into this big strong being here, and that's what helps you to grow your strength, you see. So dealing with these waves of uncertainty and fear, going into your still place, your spirit of place, will bring you back into your heart center, filled with light, raising up and feeling very strong and centered. And then you've got rainbow blessings. So then after the rain comes the sun, and then you see rainbows. So let's just take one from the top of some of these. Open communication. Yes, communicate openly with your spirit guides. Ask them for help. Whispers of love. Have faith. Another have faith card. Isis, the lunar queen, she of the celestial crescent. So again, this is the feminine, the divine feminine. She's working with the moon. Some people plant crops in association with the moon, the cycles of the moon. I think they have a skill in being able to plant things at the right time. And again, this is about discerning what battles to choose and what bits to keep and reject from your allotment, from your garden, from your body and your thoughts. You become the queen. You become very, very masterful at discerning, again with this very strong lady who can keep you strong. You can really develop your strength. And then we've got an animal card. Rabbit, fertility, your creativity is at a peak. So yeah, you're going to be creating, as you plant these seeds in a strong soil foundation of a strong light body or a strongly fertilized soil garden, you will grow the seeds very quickly, as opposed to if you allow ego thoughts to bring you down into that cowering state. You will you will increase your creativity by honing your soil to this higher level through the the challenges that come along. So it's at a peak. So this means you really are strong, and you really have mastered the ability to deal with anything that's going to stop you from building the temple of love. That's Isis. And then we have a Rumi card. Actually, before a Rumi card, I want to do chakras because I love the chakras. Which chakras do we need to be aware of as we're doing our foundational building work? Creation. So this is the, the creational is the second chakra, which is the orange one actually. It's the one that creates the seed within the womb and gives birth eventually. So be aware of your creational side. What you're creating is being incubated, and then just be really grateful for the opportunity to be able to grow these seeds. Thank the earth, thank Gaia, thank your body. And again, is a pregnant woman being, maybe that's a surrogate mother, because she looks very grateful. Yes, she's very grateful that this lady is carrying this baby for her. That's what I'm getting from this card. She's very grateful. Well, you would be, wouldn't you? You would, but then she's an older woman, so you'd think it'd be the other way around. But actually, it could be that she doesn't have the right soil to be able to plant the seeds for her to grow a baby. So she's asked this older woman who's got more experience to grow this baby for her. So, creation, birth and gratitude and love. And this is a quest as well. So it's a quest for... so you've got two sets of reeds there. One's in a sort of a quagmire and one's growing. So again, it's a little boy. He is saying, what's going to help me grow my garden? He's asking this wise feminine, what's going to help me grow healthy reeds? Yeah, so always question, what's going to help me be the healthiest creator I can today? What's going to be good for my garden? What's going to be useful? It's always a lovely question to ask, so that you get the right answers. If you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. So don't ask, oh, why is my garden looking all down and quagmired? Ask, how can I make my garden grow even better and make it look amazing? How can I give it the nourishment it needs? How can I respect and honour the cycles of life, you know. So asking generative questions is going to give you, because whatever you ask her, she'll give you the answer. And this is your unconscious, by the way. Whatever you ask in your mind, your unconscious hears it and it will give you the answer. So make sure your questions are ones that lead you towards answers for growth. Hope that helps. Right, so what other chakras do we need to be aware of? So we need to be in a sort of creative mindset with the fertile soil of being in gratitude and asking questions that grow the seeds within that soil, and then being of service, so selfless, doing it in service of the greater twin flame collective. You know, not just this is my union and blah blah blah, this is the whole collective. So still being of service, and me personally, I will still do readings from the allotment so that I can be of service to whoever this helps. And again, that's also a powerful way to manifest, because doing things for others, the angels act much more quickly when you do things for others, on behalf of others, without any expectation of anything returning. So isolation here, isolation, that's a weird card. So there's nobody in this suit. Nobody in this suit. So isolate the ego. Do not allow the ego to accompany you. Allow the ego to remain isolated over there. You know, don't let it into your circle of friends. And I don't mean to vilify the ego, but the ones that are, you know, in black, dressed in black, mourning, the ones that are going to take you down. Just you know, don't make friends with them. Leave them out in the cold. But keep the ego for useful things. Again, it's that choosing your battles card. And it's always going to be a fight between ego, because we're in a physical body. And despondence. So here's a lady, you know, she's giving birth to her world vision. And there's this lady down here with a very despondent look on her face, which is very characteristic of the narcissist or the ego within you, that says, you know, oh, who are you trying to kid, lady? So don't be pulled in by that. And perhaps this is the one that you need to leave out. Leave this woman in your head out of it. Isolate her. Do not let her into your mind, because this lady is busy growing things for, you know, for future aspirations. But would you take notice of this woman? No. Why would you want to come down to her level? No. So she's in this suit. Put her in this suit and just make her go and stand in the corner. Something like that. Anyway, so I think the message is the same with the foundation we're building. You've got to take the faith, deal with anything that comes up in a way that rises above the 3D, leave anything out, weeds, thoughts that does not lead to the door to value. Know that you've met your twin flame, you've met your partner, and you're building this temple to love. You're going to come together, and you're using whatever metaphor it is, your body. If you're going to do fitness, perhaps if you do a fitness regime, every run on that treadmill is a step towards your twin flame union. If you see it like that, maybe that will motivate you. For me, the allotment would be every seed I plant, every weed I take out will be towards or away from union. That's all there is. There's fear and love, towards and away from. There's growth and decay. it's simple really. All we have to do is decide which one is it going to be. And my plot number is number 19. So it's going to be the sun. Anyway, so I've been on here for 95 minutes. It's quite a long time. And one more Osho card, please. And this is kind of, oh wow, so friendliness. And there's 2 trees growing, and that's me and my twin in the allotment. So on that note, I'm going to leave it here, and thank you so much for your patience, for watching and staying with me and getting into this story and just chilling here and relaxing with me on this bank holiday. And I do hope that your garden grows absolutely delightfully. I'm sending you love, peace and joy. Namaste. You're welcome. Blessings and love. Thank you. Okay. Namaste.